There was a time when travel was elegant. This was when a motor car was more than a comfortable metal capsule. It was a time when motoring was all calmness and elegance. I suppose, in a way, I've set out to turn back the clock, to recapture some of that glamour and elegance. I long for a time when travel was a matter of style, when how you got there was at least as important as simply getting there. Those days are gone, or so I thought. Meeting Rowan Vos, I was reminded of an anecdote I was once told about the First World War, when an elegant and very stylish English cavalry officer was asked by an irritable infantry captain what he thought he was doing with all these bloody horses in the middle of a modern war. The cavalry officer hesitated only very briefly before replying, "We're here to add a certain tone to what would otherwise be a mere vulgar brawl." This is what Rowan Vos, the visionary founder of Rovos Rail, has done for travel in South, East and Central Africa. He's restored the tone, and so perfectly. First, he's reclaimed his very own station from the mists of time and decay. All the trains of Rovos Rail leave from the Capital Park railway station outside Pretoria. The restored station is a glimpse of a past when style was simply de rigueur. The gracious colonial-style building, which dates back to 1943, is a truly perfect departure point for a trip through Africa, which is simultaneously a trip into the past.
There are just a few things of importance in about security. Thank you.
Rowan Vos is obviously passionate about his railway, and the moment I boarded my train, the pride of Africa, I was too. It's a familiar sound to me because we travelled often on trains when I was a child. The patient hiss of steam, the huff and chuckle of the pistons, and then the slowly accelerating clackety-clack of bogie wheels over the tracks. As I watch, we're on our way to the far north. My suite is a shocking testimony to what we've lost. In the Ewardian days, travel was a beautiful experience. Getting there was half the fun. The whole train is a marvellous continuation of nostalgic fin-de-siècle glamour and modern convenience. The plumbing is reassuringly modern, and the level of luxury far exceeds anything you might have expected from old continental trains or the Trans Siberian Express. All the appointments, from the prints to the hand-embroidered linen, are in perfect taste. My suite is exquisitely restored, panelled in red dark mahogany. All the fittings are either restored originals or accurate replicas, and the result is a transport into the time where, quite frankly, my soul sits very happily. There's nothing wrong with luxury. A trip to the dining car is a total delight. The carved mahogany pillars and the air of quiet, restrained luxury are quite breathtaking. These dining cars are not replicas. They've all been salvaged from scrap heaps and sidings, lovingly repaired, painstakingly restored, and sent out into the world to give pleasure to the discerning few. Rovos Rail have obviously spared no expense in their quest for authenticity and historic accuracy. Tiffany lamps, ceiling fans, and buttoned leather banquettes. What could be more enchanting? As we pound northwards through the beginnings of bushveld, I decide to check out the chefs. Creating mouth-watering cuisine of an international standard in a smallish galley is a genuine challenge. But Rovos Rail chefs have perfected this art, creating gourmet menus 3 times a day. From eggs Florentine for breakfast, through salmon and avocado roulade for lunch, to crocodile kebabs with lime and roast garlic. Just a minute selection of the modern culinary delights that await you on Rovos Rail. The wine list is equally impressive. Whether you want to explore the new world innovations of South Africa's daring winemakers, or prefer the solid standbys of Europe, you'll find a sommelier selection on hand. The scenery of northern South Africa is utterly breathtaking. The sheer cliffs, the waterfalls, and the noble expanse of sky and horizon all compete to entrance the eye. Soon we've entered thorn tree country, the true sign of wild Africa, flat-topped acacias set amongst a line-coloured grassland. And as dusk descends and the blue hour enters, I settle for a glass of champagne before dinner in the dining car. Service is discreet. The food is first class, as befits a 5-star hotel on wheels. And as the evening draws to a close, I think of the classic East African trains that ran from Mombasa to Nairobi, bring royalty and nobility, adventurers and hunters to Africa's heartland. I feel we've regained just a little of that elusive mystery tonight. When morning dawns, we're in the craggy country of the escarpment before we descend to Kapama, a private game reserve near the world-famous Kruger National Park. We're going on safari. We mount up in the rain-fresh breeze, and soon the splendor of Africa in the raw penetrates our hearts.